Design and usability. The E-M10 Mark III is available in black or a silver and black combination for that extra retro finish. Like all Olympus E-M10 cameras, we quite like the look and feel. Overall, the body is very compact, weighing just 14.5 ounces including the memory card and battery. Even the M10 14 to 150mm kit lens, 28 to 300mm full frame equivalent added just 10 ounces. And the 17mm f1.8 34mm equivalent weighs just 4.2 ounces and barely extends from the front plate. This is the greatest advantage of the Micro Four Thirds system, as the smaller sensor allows for smaller lenses, and the E-M10 Mark III really plays to this strength. The other benefit is the sheer number of lenses available for the system, with both Olympus and Panasonic producing their own glass that can be mounted on either brand's cameras. The Mark III may strike some users as being quite busy, with loads of buttons and dials and switches. We quite like it, especially as few other cameras at this price point put this much control at your fingertips. But beginners may feel a little overwhelmed. There's a hot shoe mode dial, 2 command wheels, shutter button, and movie record button. There are also 2 customizable function keys. The back has a high-quality 2.36 million OLED electronic viewfinder with diopter control. Below is a tilting 3-inch touchscreen rated at $1.04 million. The EVF is about as good as it gets and the monitor is solid, although nothing special. The touchscreen is responsive and a welcome feature. The battery is rated for 330 shots. Typical for small, mirrorless cameras but less than half of almost any DSLR. Performance and image quality. The E-M10 Mark III features the venerable, if a bit outdated, 16-megapixel Micro Four Thirds MFT sensor coupled to the Trupic 8 processor. As we mentioned, MFT chips are smaller than the typical APS-C sensors found in Sony, Fujifilm, and Canon mirrorless cameras. For novice and hobby shooters this likely isn't a huge issue, but if you're looking for the best image quality, you will find it elsewhere. We would have liked to have seen the E-M10 Mark III inherit the newer 2-MP sensor used in the flagship E-M1 Mark II, although the 16MP chipset shouldn't be a deal-breaker for the target user. Autofocus points have increased to 121, up from 81 in the E-M10 Mark II. Although the AF system works well for static subjects, action is not its forte. The camera can shoot continuously at 8.6 FPS, but only with focus locked after the first frame. If you want continuous AF, it tops out at just 4.8 FPS, so a sports camera this is not. As a contrast detection-only system, it also falls behind other modern mirrorless AF systems that use a combination of phase and contrast detection. Where the camera really starts to show its weakness is when combining both action and low-light photography. When we tried to shoot folk dancers on stage at night, it did a very poor job. Here, we couldn't rely on the great 5-axis image stabilization to get a clean shot, as we needed a fast shutter speed to freeze the action. That meant raising the ISO, which quickly leads to unacceptable levels of noise given the relatively small MFT sensor. AF performance, already not particularly good for moving subjects, suffers even more in reduced light, giving us another issue. We know this is a tough situation for any camera, but it's hard not to feel a bit let down by the Mark III. We weren't expecting the quality of a $5,000 full-frame rig like a Sony A7R Mark III with an f2.8 lens, but it was still disappointing. In brighter, more static settings, the Mark III does a good job with nice colors and quick focusing. So long as you don't have a moving subject. The 5-axis image stabilization eliminates blur when shooting handheld at slow shutter speeds. The E-M10 Mark III has a native ISO range of 200 to 6400, which can be extended down to 100 and up to 25,600. Even with the smaller MFT chip, the Mark III manages to handle noise well up until around ISO 3200. If you're looking for a great low-light camera, however, you'll likely want to opt for a larger sensor. As for video, the jump to 4K is welcome if not surprising. This is definitely the new normal, and we are glad to see Olympus is implementing the higher resolution standard throughout its product lineup. Color quality was quite good and we didn't notice too much rolling shutter or artifacts. However, video also suffered from the poor continuous AF performance, which failed to keep pace with moving subjects. Granted, we've been spoiled by faster hybrid AF systems in cameras costing 6 times the price of the E-M10 Mark III, but its focus performance is still in another universe. Even at a similar price point, Canon's dual-pixel AF in the EOS M6 is far superior, although that camera goes without 4K video and also lacks an EVF.